Sure, that has a future.
Vote Monty for a short but glorious endeavor where you get to see the pinnacle of competition.
Make prehistory great again. SKT versus ESC Ever, game number 2. The Nidalee, the Vlad, the first couple bans from SKT, and Alistar, Sivir, 2 bans that ESC Ever banned in game 1. Do you think they're going to take out the Talia?
I don't think so. I think they're going to try and take the Tahm Kench on the first round of the draft on red side, because that is a pick that ESC has preferred previously, and now they're in a bind whether they want the Tahm Kench or the Gragas to go through. Answer is Tahm Kench. Will SKT take it?
Jungle band as well. And there goes the Gragas. So we'll be the Hecarim pick first. I mean,
that is really unique for SKT.
It is, but it did work, right? I mean, Blank, he may not have had a big presence in the early game, but he was able to farm up successfully and still get those wards down.
It also does fit with the typical SKT model. I say this a lot, but for years now, on blue side, SKT has placed a premium on first picking junglers. That has been their style forever, and we assume that it's going to be a jungle Hecarim here. I think that's probably a pretty safe bet.
It's also their style forever.
Yep, as well. Yeah. It is definitely their style forever.
Well, 2 picks for ESC Ever, and they're thinking long and hard about this. Temp is like, can I play Talia? I don't know, man. Karma GP? I mean, you can't really argue with those picks. Despite how last game went, they still are really strong.
Interesting that we're seeing the same compositions develop. So I guess ESC is just saying, okay, if we had gotten standard lanes, we did okay in the late game there, all things considered, despite a big deficit.
All right, Jhin insta-lock for SKT, and then there's the Talia again for Faker.
I do really like the Jhin-Talia combination because you can provide so much basically zoning for the Jhin, make sure that people don't get into that back line and actually harass him.
And now the Ashe immediately taken by Loken, so ESC going to have a little bit more hard engage.
So now we're going to start to see the mix-up. 80 carries have been swapped between teams out of game number 1. Are they going to show their jungler here? I wouldn't. Now you can go with the Elise. Go with the Elise here, at least you have the Ashe.
Sure.
It's still not great if Karma is your mid laner, which almost certainly it is going to be, because again, they've taken the GP and an 80 carry without movement abilities, so having the speed boost and the shield, useful.
And they're going to take the Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench, and that'll be useful to save people that are about to die from Jhin ultimates.
Holding on to that jungle for a long time, this makes me wonder. But also the Tahm Kench a priority win. You see SKT taking that Jhin.
Overall, I like the Taric from Wolf last game. It wasn't like standout good, but it was still successful.
He did well in the follow-up CC. However, in this game, maybe SKT will go for the stronger lane of the Bard.
Okay.
And try and get the standard lanes and bully a bit more. They can certainly get away, though. I mean, if they're against Ashe Tahm Kench, you can certainly, regardless of lane swap or standard lanes, not really worry about the weakness of the Taric. And we may see the Echo again. This is still a pick that I am confused by. I talked to Cloud Templar, and he didn't really have an answer for me either as to why we have suddenly seen the resurgence of Tank Echo in the top lane.
Yeah.
Gnar is available, like, why?
I mean, they pick it because they pick it. Could be the reason. So the final pick coming in for ESC Ever. And it's going to be a jungler, but what is it going to be? Rek'Sai, Elise? What do you go with?
Yeah, I hear it's another hard call again because the solo lanes are so hard to gank for Elise. It's tricky. I think I'd go with the Rek'Sai, I guess. It does give you, of course, the vision off of the Tremor Sense, and then still provides, I think, a little bit more presence in late-game teamfights and follow-up engage from the Ashe Arrow.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
Makes sense.
I just think that was the right pick in the last game, too. It's not substantially better than the Elise, but I think it's better enough. So, again, this is the second game we've seen tonight, though, where the Echo's been picked into the GP. Nope, it's going to be Elise.
All right. That's switching over to the Elise.
There's not a huge difference here. But the Echo into the GP. Again, there is so much kill pressure from the Gnar onto the Gangplank and you have the synergy. The Gnar Weaver's Wall is a great way to set up crowd control.
I mean, especially when you saw that GP pick so early. I don't get it either, but Duke wants to play Echo.
Everybody wants to play Echo. Nerfed tank
So.
Echo.
I don't know. Well, it is what it is.
I'm just waiting for somebody to show us a dominating performance in this matchup, because we saw Someday take it, and he was falling behind in lane. It took a gank to power him ahead, and they will have that opportunity once again to gank here, but the Gnar offers more reliable crowd control than the Echo does. And we'll see if they can make it work. As GP overextends in the 1v1, Blank can come in and push him back with a devastating charge and try and make some plays post 6.
Now, the big question here, too, is can Key put on a better performance on that Tahm Kench than Totoro did on Janna? He's generally been I would say, the better support for ESC ever.
It's also just hard to play the Janna, and they picked the Janna for a specific reason. They didn't get the standard lanes, and from there, once we get into late game and there's just so much engaged, they can nuke the Janna in the back line. Not going to be the easiest to play that champion.
True enough. Well, the game is loading up, and soon we will see if SKTelecom can get the 2-0, get their first win over ESC ever in a best of. Let's find out. All right, welcome to Summoner's Rift for what could be the last time tonight. SKTelecom taking on ESC ever. SKT up a game. And this is LCK on OGN. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Oh, and whoa, SKT.
Flash party.
Going ham there, yeah. All right, well, they get the flash out of Bless. In exchange for the flash from Wolf. So at the end of the day, whatever.
I agree.
It's my official analysis. Whatever.
No, I agree with your analysis, Doa.
Yeah, it's good.
Probably not going to be necessary in the first 5 minutes of this game. Tried to make the play. Blanka did use his smite on a Spiderling, it looks like.
That happens sometimes. Gotta get that CS, man. That's called a gold lead.
So, standard lanes this time.
All right.
So I'm glad we actually have standard lanes, because I am still super curious about this, what Duke and Sumner are seeing about this Echo into GP matchup right now. Now, it may change. I don't think Duke is going to be going for the Trinity Force build that fell off pretty hard in the late game. Trinity Force Dead Man's Plate. Mercurial Scimitar, because he had to have a QSS versus the Malzahar. Bang just toying right now, trying to zone out his late opponents. Jin should have an upper hand. Faker going up into mid lane yet again and using that threaded volleys.
Same matchup as we saw in game number 1. You know, for the most part, managed to keep up with Faker in the 1v1.
Yeah, did well early, as we can expect in pretty much any Karma matchup.
Yep.
And now we wait, because standard lanes are more exciting, so I'm told.
Wow.
They're exactly the same
voice.
level.
They're not more exciting.
They're the exact same level of excitement.
All right. We'll let Reddit be the judge.
No, 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 that is a terrible idea, Doa.
Too late. It's happened.
That's how the world ends.
Reddit becomes the judge of everything.
Yeah, Reddit democracy. World War III incoming.
Or Redditocracy.
Truly the darkest form of government.
I know. Jeez, that is frightening to think about. Upvote or downvote laws you think about?
Just troll people on the internet for no reason.
Yeah, well, I mean, that happens anyway.
Introduce laws just for the lulls.
Yep. I feel like that already happens sometimes.
Yes, sadly there are there are congressional trolls as well.
And nobody there to downvote them either. Oh well. Whatever you say, Karma. 'Cause I don't know what it is.
You just have to yell all the time when you're doing things. I know you do it in your day-to-day life.
Yeah, sure. I'm just like making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then I'm like, ah!
And now I'm spreading the peanut butter.
Here comes the jelly.
It's going into my mouth.
That's why my neighbors are always complaining. I didn't figure that out until right now.
That's what being a League of Legends character is like.
Yeah. Just yell all the time. I have mail.
It's not fun to live next to Karma.
Nope.
The worst one to live next to, though, is Super Galaxy Rumble.
Yeah, I suppose. Oh, here comes Duke. Crazy. Ooh, all right. And he manages to eat some fruit to stay alive.
Yeah, Duke already had the recall, though. A couple items up. Going this time with the Corrupting Potion, Dark Seal, Doran's Ring, the really strong laning start for Echo. Crazy going to be returning, however, with a completed sheet. So we will see more about what this main matchup is like now that we're a little bit more even on items.
Bless is in position for a gank. Duke, if he moves much farther up. And that may be the ticket right there, but here comes playing.
Like not 6.
Yep. Bless, Duke trying to get away. Parallel convergence, zoning pretty well. Duke not having to, well, having to use that flash. Never mind.
I'm not actually sure if he had to use that flash. It was a nice repel from Bless to dodge the stun.
I didn't think he was going to end up having to. Blank finds Bless. Has to do a lot of damage. Forces a flash, but Cocoon will stop him. Faker coming up right now. There's Temp. And Blank going deep on this one. Faker looking to pick up the kill. He's going to flash for it, and he will get it. First blood for the second game in a row, going to Faker's Talia.
Yeah, just catching up with the 2 movement summoners. Now they're going on a key, and Logan dancing grenade. Hits the back, but not enough to pick up a kill, so SKTelecom knows that the jungler dead. Now's their chance to advance onto the ESC duo lane.
Yeah. Time for dive. Blank coming in behind. Crazy going to push him back right into Duke, and this should be an easy kill. Turrets doing a lot of damage to Blank. Minions trying to finish him off, but they won't be successful. Good luck, Minions.
Wow, Blank with 2 ganks early.
I know, right? What is this?
Unusual. And on a Hecarim, no less, a champion not known for his early ganking prowess, but manages to respond well to Bless's presence in the top side, cut him off, and call Faker in to make the play.
Faker playing pretty dangerously here against Temp with no summoners. But he is Faker, so you'd assume he knows his limits on that champion.
Talia also yelling a bunch of garbage.
I got rocks. Rocks in your face. Whoa! Nuked! Whoopsie.
Wrecked.
All right, you know what I said about Faker knowing his limits on this champion? Never mind.
Well, it was close. Blank was quite nearly there to help out, but nice play by Temp. Didn't even have to use his flash for that one. Just dodges under the turret. Blank just about half a second too late.
Yeah.
And Faker gets solo killed.
Oops.
Going for the same build he had last game, which was Lost Chapter into the Megatron Cloak. So just choosing to not complete an initial item and get a little bit more magic resist to deal with the Karma in the early game.
Meanwhile, in bot lane, more farming. And Mountain Drake will be our first Drake of the game.
Now Duke already ahead, perhaps showing me more of what this matchup could be, but I'm still a bit perplexed by the prevalence of Echo, and there are so many other top laners that could have come through.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, we said earlier that it started working well once Someday got a gank from Score, and now, you know, Blank giving Duke that kill, so you know, maybe that is just kind of how it is. You just need the jungler to gank successfully for you.
Yeah, but that's a tall order because GP did very well in the 1v1 matchup. in the last game, as GP does against most of the melee tank top laners. Just not really a way to trade efficiently with him.
It doesn't seem like something you want to count on.
Right. Now, what does Echo bring to this composition? Does bring more zoning, especially for the Jhin, can keep people away with the parallel convergence. I just think that the Nard-Taliyah synergy is so strong between their ultimates that you have a really good matchup like you had last time. Why play the Echo this game? I'd love to know Koma's thoughts on the change when they had a chance to counterpick the GP in both games.
Temp's doing a good job in this 1v1. Ahead in CS, managed to get the solo kill. And he's going in again with that shield. Wow, Tempt gaining quite a bit of confidence here after that kill.
Yeah, the early game should be his. Again, he's up on Faker. Like I said, has the kill. So does Faker, though. Faker got the first blood, but
sure.
CS differential, he is getting zoned out quite heavily. Duke is going to come in for a roam, though.
Tempt does have his flash. GP ultimate used onto Faker. They're going to get the kill as Key comes up as well. And that gank not going to come in for SKTelecom. So nice pick onto Faker in the mid lane.
Yeah, just more proactive play from ESC ever in the gank.
Oh boy,
They were there first. They had pushed out the bottom lane. Loken and Key just showing up with the Abyssal Voyage. And Faker, he tried to bait Tempt in. Unfortunately, Faker did not realize that there was going to be backup. So he was burned down before Echo could wrap around the side alongside Blank. And it's a nice pickup in favor of ESC, and they can extend that lead in the mid lane with the Karma, keep the Taliyah down.
We'll see what Faker can do from behind now.
Yeah, about 900 gold advantage. That is a healthy lead for Tempt on the Karma.
Yes, it is.
And I would imagine that this matchup is pretty challenging for Taliyah because the poke going to outrange you with the Karma Q, and then if you try and actually use your W to bounce her, she does have that, she just monster shields herself. She will be able to zip out.
Well, that's exactly what we're seeing, you know. Seeing Tempt use his skill set on that Karma really well. And it's causing problems for Faker. Two big CS lead. Faker, though, not deterred. He's just going to keep being aggressive as he is only programmed to do that.
Faker's mindset is that if I keep trying to make plays, eventually, because I'm better than you, I will make the better plays.
I mean, it's been working so far, right?
Yep, it's been working for 3 years. Why stop now?
What's that sound? Whoa.
Yeah, I'm really happy about this.
All right, ganking time. Wall comes in. Faker joining. He's going to surf in on that one. Crazy in a bit of trouble trying to get away. Cocoon not hitting Faker. Blank going to get the kill anyway. Ults back out to save himself. And it was a pretty prolonged gank, but in the end, it worked.
Yeah, they got the kill and they got the flash. This is what I thought was going to be happening more last game, Doa.
Yeah.
But didn't end up occurring. Now Faker has an opportunity to roam, picks up another assist for himself, and helps to clear out the top side. Going to attempt to get this turret. Grab some global gold here for his team, as well as the local gold to catch back up. Duke actually sent to the mid lane. Oh, this is smart.
Oh, Blank is there too. Yeah, I mean, this is good. Faker's having trouble in the 1v1. So send Blank and Tempt down there. GP ultimate drop. Duke gets out of it pretty quick. And with that teleport in, Tempt able to stay safe. But SKTelecom with a pretty intelligent rotation. And that should give them a top lane turret.
Yeah, they got an ultimate from the GP and a teleport out of him while protecting the mid lane. And the reason why they just kept Faker up there was he has the superior wave clear right now, as Duke is going to be going for the Trinity Force, just like Someday was. So I guess Korean players in solo queue liking this build up against the GP early, matching Trinity Force with Trinity Force. So what I was going to say is that by leaving Faker up there, they allow him to get the local gold from the destruction of the turret so that he's not quite so behind in the 1v1 matchup.
Yeah.
And instead use Duke, who is already winning and already ahead, to push Tempt out of the mid lane.
It's a good adaptation.
Yeah, turret going to cost them a Mountain Drake again. They will not be able to grab the first Drake of the game. Then we'll go over to ESC.
Yeah, but they do get first blood. They do get the first turret.
And this is very different than what we typically have seen from SKTelecom, which is No emphasis on first blood, high emphasis on first Drake.
Yeah.
But in the games tonight, first blood twice in a row, and being willing to give up the first Drake.
He's got no way to get out of this. He's just going to die. Goodbye. Wow, he just kind of walked right into that one, didn't he?
Now we're going to see perhaps why this matchup was taken.
I guess.
Was harder for Someday in this matchup, but looks like not too much of a challenge here for Duke. That early gank getting him rolling, and now Crazy with the 3 deaths. The turret down. Duke coming out on top.
Just able to do a little bit to that top lane. That's about it.
It's a lot of minions denied, though. And he's going to push the next wave into the turret, too. Crazy hurting, level behind. 30 CS.
Yeah, quite a bit behind in CS. Faker about that far behind in the bot lane, but the difference is Faker's got the kill, the assist, the turret gold, whereas Crazy just has pretty much died a lot.
Yeah, that's the adaptation, though, is that SKT, you can see how they like to conceptualize the map, how they like to play it, and just realize where their deficiencies are and then use these scenarios to boost themselves up.
Yeah.
And cover for each other's weaknesses. If Duke is strong this game, then they'll let him do his thing in the mid lane and give Faker a little bit more CS and a little bit more money in the top lane after he got for the gank.
Meanwhile, in bot lane,
where nothing is happening.
Bang, put more pressure on, and it's an Infernal Drake next. SKTelecom didn't get either of them last game, and it didn't end up making a difference in the end, but they still would probably prefer to pick it up.
Not gonna want to give another Infernal Drake over. It did cause them pretty big problems when it came to closing, and you saw how insanely strong the GP can get with a couple of those.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane.
Meanwhile, nothing's happening. Jhin places traps. Blank comes in. Maybe looking for a gank. No Trinity Force yet.
No, maybe not.
He's got all the pieces. Oh, he is. He's here. He wants to come around.
Oh, Blank is, or Bless rather, is coming down in lane as well.
Now he hasn't been seen yet. Faker coming through.
Yeah, Faker with the wall to prevent the escape, and Key not getting through, having to flash to get out. So they did get the summoner at least.
Yeah, really nice preemptive play there. Seeing the wall come in, immediately devouring the Ashe, and preparing the flash to get back to safety. Only having to use one summoner.
That was nice.
And Blank also using his ghost.
Well, you do what you can.
You do, and it's about the pressure, too.
Oh, speaking of pressure, Faker trying to escape from this one, get a flash of the GB ultimate. Once again, though, you see that. Oh, here comes Blank, actually. Repel. Bless is going to keep going in on this, but Duke teleporting down. Faker with an easy kill, just blows up Bless. And now, Blank going back in with that Grim ultimate. Key pops that gray health. He's going to eat up Duke. Duke taking some damage, going to ult to stay alive. Actually ends up taking out Key that way.
What a Taric ult right there.
Another kill, yeah. Comes in and bang. Cleans up the fight with that curtain call. SKTelecom with 4 kills in what was originally supposed to be a gank onto Faker.
Wow, that was a super impressive by SKTelecom. That time they were ready for the Abyssal Voyage. To Key and Loken's credit, though, they responded nearly instantaneously to that little skirmish in the mid lane. Unfortunately, showing up when they did. Duke was fast on the trigger with the TP also, and Crazy never showed up into that team fight. Let's take a look at this. Cannon Barrage drop. Faker uses both Ghost and Flash to get out of it. Blank comes around, knocks Bless back, but look how fast the Abyssal Voyage comes up. They are ready, using that extended range now after the top catch buff. And then Blank coming in, pushes the two in the back. They isolate Key, bounce it into the minefield effectively. But this is the real piece right here, which is Duke getting forward and getting into the Taric ultimate that deny a lot of damage, or able to complete the dive with the help of the curtain call. Yomo's Ghostblade already finished, so the arm penetration.
Whoa. Oh, Faker.
Faker.
Goodbye. Well, you win some, you lose some. Did do a lot of damage to that bot lane turret, I suppose, but
also didn't have any wards via the river, so not particularly safe for him to be pushed up that far, and he ends up being punished for it, so it gives another kill over. And Faker was trying to zone them off the backside of the turret. Well, that was easy.
Yep, sure was.
Close to getting the turret down, but
I gotta say,
too greedy. Faker is the only one who has died on his team so far.
I gotta say, Blank has looked good.
Yes, he has.
On this hack room.
But Bless is hardly the pinnacle of jungling in this league.
No.
Bless also is not a very good pressure jungler in the early game. Nice wall.
Yeah, good zoning temp there. Tom Kench coming in, but getting there a little bit late.
Also no Ashe this time.
Yeah, that's right. Bless cocoons Blank in the back lines, and he's going to go into the onslaught of shadows. Gets Faker the double kill. Goodbye, Ashe Arrow. And that's done. And meanwhile, Rift Herald's gone. Another turret taken by SKTelecom. Bless getting jumped on by Duke, and SKT starting to pull ahead pretty far already here in Game 2.
Yeah, the double Trinity Force completion. Big power spike here for SKT. Yeah, Crazy has one of his own, but he's going to need some more armor penetration before those barrels really start to ramp up in potency. And SKT just running away, pushing all 3 lanes simultaneously. That's going to deny a lot of farm to the members of ESC, and probably herald the end of this game, ultimately, with 7,000 gold lead that SKTelecom have accrued. Now they will put some salt in the wound with an Infernal Drake.
Put some lava in the wound. Ouch. Well, I guess it would cauterize the wound, so
yeah,
maybe
exactly.
that wouldn't be that bad. Never mind. See, I know natural stuff.
I'm glad you know all the natural stuff, Doa.
There you go. If you get a cut, just put lava on it.
And this is why the Doa Caveman Society, I'd give 2 weeks.
Well, as long as we stay away from lava, we should be okay.
Pointy objects, fire, yeah, all those things.
We need those.
I know. This is why you're doomed.
We do good.
You're already destroying the English language. You do well. I guess that'll be your first voyage of destruction.
No, it's my first voyage of evolution. The English language shall be remade in my own image, as casters have been doing since the dawn of time, remaking their language in their own image.
Weird. I just call it misusing words.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. You're a glass half empty kind of guy, huh?
Hooray for Faker. Gets a Gromp and a blue buff.
Yep.
Seeing a different build from Duke this time. Well, no, we're not. Still Trinity Force at the Dead Man's Plate. Looking for the big damage on the engage into the back line. I got excited there for a moment, but I guess I shouldn't.
Yeah, you should know better. Oh. Talia's got a deep voice.
It's the Rocks speaking to her, Doa.
That's right. Hey, stop riding on me.
Maybe the Rocks like it.
We're all soldiers now.
It's a good impression.
Thank you. Work on that. We're about the same age. Soldier 76.
Really? How old is he?
He's in early 30s. You can tell.
Yeah, he really looks like he's in his early 30s.
Hey, some people have white hair in their early 30s. Not me.
I guess they're following the Star Trek movie idea of who should be in command then, because if he's already been in command and...
yeah. Oh, it's a curtain call time. Trying to zone him out. Here comes Duke from the side. Onslaught of shadows. Key very low. Goodbye, Key. Faker with yet another kill. That's going to be a mid lane turret. Probably taken pretty easily by SKTelecom. GP ult. That didn't really do a whole lot, did it?
Still getting trapped up a little bit here. Nobody going to get hit by the barrels, though. Bang will sidestep it.
Just go through the jungle later. You can wait for the minion wave otherwise.
Use that Bastion to buy yourself a little bit of time.
Bastion.
No jungle exit needed.
Nope.
But as I was saying, they must follow the same rule of command structure. You know what makes me the most angry about the new Star Trek movies?
What's that?
So it's not that as independent movies, as action movies, I actually think they're okay.
Yeah.
But
sure, first one anyway.
Who the hell would put like some 20-something-year-old guy? I say this as a 20-something-year-old guy. Who would put a 20-something-year-old guy in command of a Navy's flagship to do whatever the hell he wants with? It's so contradictory to Star Trek, which has traditionally been about choosing wise, well-educated, temperate leaders, right? Kirk a little bit on the outside, he was a little bit more roguish, but he was also older.
Well, I mean,
like, can you imagine tomorrow the U.S. is like, we're going to put this 26-year-old in charge of this aircraft carrier. Nobody thinks that's a good idea.
I think of much worse things that may actually happen.
That's true.
Yeah, right now. I don't know if that's the best analogy to use at this year. But
truly an example of how age does not necessarily breed wisdom, though.
Keep in mind, though, that in the new movie, Kirk became in charge of the Enterprise after the captain was captured, right? And then at the end, it was kind of silly where they were like, "Oh, you saved the day." He's like, "So can I keep the ship?" And they're like, "Okay, sure,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, why not? You seem to do pretty okay with it."
And you know what? We're just going to send you out into these situations where you're not even going to be able to really communicate with us, so you're just going to have to fly by the seat of your pants and do whatever the hell you think is right.
We trust you. You seem like a
Is that
put-together
ridiculous?
young man.
Isn't that ridiculous?
It is. It is.
I would hope that as a globalized society in the future, that we would be able to choose better military leaders. Just saying.
Sure. Well, again, not the best year maybe for making that analogy.
You're sadly right.
But hopefully I will be wrong.
Well, looks like I dislike the new Star Trek movies in reality for the same reasons, Noah.
There you go. Well, here comes Faker. It's going after Bless. Doing some damage. Bringing him back in. Yep, but there is a curtain call coming in. Key eats up the jungler for the moment. Blank on top of him. And goodbye, Key. Goodbye, Bless. Goodbye. ESC average chance of winning the game.
I think that went by a while ago, Noah.
Yeah, I just had forgotten to say goodbye to it. You know how it goes.
Well, actually going to be Sokka with the Warden's Mail coming in. It will be a Randuin's Omens. We're not going to see the Chain Vest to the Dead Man's Plate this game, so a bit of an adaptation there from Duke.
Yeah. And there's a Baron for SKT. Easy peasy.
Gotta make sure the cannon barrage doesn't steal it from you.
Yep, probably a good idea.
Methodical. Waiting until it got perfectly into the smite range. Blank takes it out. And now will this be the final offensive for SKT, their titanic gold lead. They have yet to lose a tower in this game. This is one of the reasons why I'm concerned about the new meta being heavily in favor of SKT, Doa.
Because they're already crushing people like this?
Yeah, they're crushing people pretty hard in standard
clearly,
lanes.
Riot just wants SKTelecom to win Worlds. I mean, if there's anything they've been in favor of strongly over the years, it's Korean teams winning international events. They love that.
Yeah, they throw a party every time it happens.
They love that stuff. Yes. Clearly.
Nothing like an unspoiled string of Korean victories to make me happy.
Yeah, it's like, uh-oh, SKT's having some trouble. Better make Vi viable again. It's like, uh-oh, SKT's having trouble. Better patch it so they can dominate even more. Thank you. On behalf of SKTelecom, who I apparently speak for, thank you. Here comes Duke. And he's just going to blow up Loken immediately. Goodbye, Temp getting very, very low. And wow.
Great
yes,
dive.
about as one-sided as it could get. Triple kill for Faker on that Talia.
Awesome dive there from SKT. Opening up with a curtain call and then boxing them in like fish in a barrel. No method of escape. And SKT just showing incredible team fight dominance.
I thought there was going to be a surrender for a second there, the way the camera
was
slow
moving.
pan.
Well, it may not be a surrender, but it may also still be the end of the game, though.
Yeah, pretty much. So 28 minutes, and SKTelecom going to take this one handily, as Crazy is the only one left alive on his team. He will watch the Nexus fall, and that is it. SKTelecom with the 2-0 victory. Pretty good stuff.
And finally, Doa, they overcome ESC Ever.
They do. It took nearly a year, but they were able to finally beat Ever. So good job there. SKTelecom. About time.
It's all right. They still have one final enemy that they have not defeated in a best-of series, Doa, and that is EDG.
Yeah, that's true. Got to meet him at Worlds maybe this year. Well, Faker does a lot of damage.
Nobody did a whole lot of damage considering how quickly that game was over, but the team comp looked very practiced. I like the Jhin and the Taliyah combination. Duke made the Echo build work in the early game this time. Got help a little bit faster than we saw in the KT Longzhu series. Also, the other part of that matchup too, Doa, is that Expression is a better player than Crazy, so having much more experience. So perhaps if it was somebody else on that GP, we may have seen it more go Expression's way. Expression statistically is actually a very good laner this season. Yeah. And wasn't quite so easy for the Trinity Force Echo to roll it over, but now we've seen it from two different players. And in a time where people are struggling to find answers to the Gangplank, and therefore it's drawing a lot of bans, looks like this may be at least a tool that can be used to help out in that laning phase.
Could be. We'll see. But, yeah, with that win, with that very crucial 2-0, SKTelecom, gets themselves one step closer to maybe being able to grab that top spot and get a free ticket into the finals. It's possible.
It's definitely possible. They certainly are by no means out of it. They've now played one more match than the Rocks Tigers, so Tigers still looking at 3 remaining matches, including that one that might be rather tough. Or actually, do they have any tough matches anymore? I actually think they don't. I think they're probably on easy street from this point forward. Yeah. Really, it's the KT Samsung match that is the last, I would say, really big match that could affect playoff seedings.
Yeah, and you'd have to,
without a big upset.
You'd have to expect at this point too, KT to probably take that one. I mean, Samsung has kind of been, I think, kind of found out in that they can beat anybody lower than them in the standings. But the top 3 teams, SKT, Rocks, Tigers, KT, it just doesn't seem like Samsung has what it takes to win right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. So we'll see. Perhaps anything can happen depending on when we get on patch 6.15, because that is going to be a major game changer.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see it come so late in the season, of course. But
hey, at least it didn't come after the season.
At least we will have competitive games on the pre-Worlds patch.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah, it is nice to see it come a little bit earlier this year.
Still not ideal, but a mild improvement. Actually, you know what? It's not even a mild improvement. It's a major improvement. At least some sample size is significantly better than 0 sample size, where Mordekaiser and GP and Darius and Fiora just take over everything and dictate every game. Makes you sad. You know what's interesting is SKT has never won a game against the Flash Wolves since they lost 0-2 to them at MSI.
It's a good point, too. Yeah, wow. Huh. Good job, Flash Wolves, I guess. Yeah.
It's funny because the Flash Wolves in this past year have kind of become the Korean killers, taking out the Tigers 2-0 and then the SKT 2-0 in the last 2 major international events.
Yeah, it's a good point. Well, Blank gets the MVP. Got to hand it to this guy again. We were very critical at the start of this broadcast, but he played the hecker very well, and I think this is a pick that teams are going to need to look out for.
Yeah, but the question always with Blank is, his Gragas was super good, but his champion pool just isn't that deep on things he can be effective with. But you got to give him credit in this game. He read the pathing of Elise really well to help Faker pick up that first kill. Nice dive.
I mean, I think the fact that his champion pool is small makes this exciting, that he's got another pick now that apparently he can do well on.
Also, you have to question in SKTelecom's case whether it even matters that his champion pool is small, because even if he is on a champion that is substandard for him, if you're banning him out, you're probably giving Faker, Bang, and Duke a hell of a lot to work with in a draft.
Well, absolutely, that's what happens with SKTelecom, but still, it doesn't hurt to be better on more champions.
So I like the fact he came in with the Hecarim today, really had an impressive performance, particularly in the second game. This dive was gorgeous.
This was like the culmination of what this team comp is supposed to do.
Plus, it's so gross that everybody just can't escape. They all just file into the corner of death.
Very cool stuff. And so, Kled, all the details have been released.
I'm excited for Kled. He does look fun.
Yeah.
And he goes with my theme, Doa. More globals, more globals. Get the team there faster. Everybody follow Kled. It's exciting. Notice Riot really likes movement abilities recently. Taliyah, Kled.
I like them too.
Aurelion Sol. Do you know why? Because this is what actually causes kills to happen in games.
That's right. Well, I believe
in professional games.
I believe it's time to probably end the broadcast. Yep, the call's starting, so we're going to end right here, guys. See you tomorrow for more LCK Summer on OGN. Thanks for watching. See you then.